Hey, welcome back. Welcome to my video series on understanding ISO 9001-2015. Through this video, we shall attempt to understand clause number 6 and specifically clause number 6.1, actions to address risks and opportunities. 6.1.1, when planning for the quality management system, the organization shall consider the issues referred to in 4.1 and the requirements referred to in 4.2. And determine the risks and opportunities that need to be addressed to A. Give assurance that the quality management system shall achieve its intended results. B. Enhance desirable effects. C. Prevent or reduce undesired effects. D. Achieve improvements. It goes on further. Clause number 6.1.2, it says the organization shall plan A. Actions to address these risks and opportunities. B. How to 1. Integrate and implement the actions into its quality management system processes. See clause 4.4. B. Evaluate the effectiveness of these actions. Actions taken to address risks and opportunities shall be proportionate to the potential impact of the conformity of product and services. Note 1. Options to address risks can include avoiding risks, taking risks in order to pursue an opportunity, eliminating the risk source, changing the likelihood or consequence, sharing the risk, or retaining risk by informed decision. Note 2. Opportunities can lead to adoption of new practices, launching new products, opening new markets, addressing new customers, building partnerships, using new technology, and other desirable and viable possibilities to address the organization's or its customers' needs. When we commenced our journey of understanding ISO 9001, effectively, the ISO standard commences to list out its requirement from clause number 4. 4.1 4.1 was all about understanding the organization and its context, in which this standard lays down a requirement that we must determine the internal and external issues that are relevant to the quality management system and the strategic direction of the organization. So all the internal external issues that you've identified, through clause number 6.1, it is asking you to close loop it. Now that you've identified the issues, internal and external, look at what risks or opportunities do these expose you to, and try and build processes or action plans to be able to exploit them accordingly. If it is an opportunity, you must work at enhancing the likelihood of that opportunity happening. If it is a risk that poses some threat, you should look at building controls so that the risk doesn't have any undesired impact. Similarly, the next clause was 4.2. Understanding the need and expectation of the interested parties, in which you were required to list down all interested parties for the quality management system and list down their requirements. Now, once you have laid down your requirements, you should look at what are the risks and opportunities that you are exposed to vis-a-vis the needs and expectation of the interested parties, and work at closed looping whatever you have had so far. So it's saying, when planning for the quality management system, the organization shall consider the issues and risks referred to in 4.1, which means the internal and the external issues that you've identified, and requirements referred to in 4.2. So all these stakeholder requirements that you've identified in 4.2, and determine the risks and opportunities that need to be addressed to give assurance that the quality management system can achieve its intended result. Let's say, for instance, we're saying that there is an external issue that the law of the land could end up impacting the margin or revenue of an organization. It is asking you to determine the risks and opportunities that such issues impact the quality management system, and you must build plans according to them. You must work at B, enhancing the desired effects. So if you see certain opportunity, like in my previous videos, I had given you an example that India as a nation is moving very fast towards creating legal processes around privacy and data protection, etc., which for us as a consulting organization creates a lot of scope for new business coming our way. So what would you want to do to be able to enhance the desired effect is what the standard wants you to do. In terms of the undesired effect, you may want to prevent or reduce the undesired effect, and D, work at achieving improvement in your business processes. And once you have identified the actions to address these risks and opportunities, you must look at integrating these actions into the quality management system processes. If you remember, in my discussion of the clause number 4.4, 4.4.1, we had discussed that quality management system and its processes require you to follow A through G certain steps: determination of inputs, determination of sequence and interaction of processes, determination and application of criteria and method, determination of resource requirements, assignment of roles and responsibilities, addressal of risk and opportunities, and finally, evaluation of the processes and implementation of any change if needed. Through the clause 6.1.2, it is asking you to integrate the risk and opportunity action plans within the quality management system processes and evaluate the effectiveness of these actions, and that such action taken to address risks and opportunities should be proportionate to the potential impact on the conformity of product and service. If a particular risk has a higher likelihood of impacting the conformity of your product or service, the control around such risks and opportunities need to be higher. Note 1. Options to address risks can include avoiding risk, taking risk in order to pursue an opportunity, eliminating the risk source, changing the likelihood or consequences, sharing the risk, or retaining risk by informed decisions. So when you are building your risk plan, you may want to use these heads in your action plan that you're making. Similarly, we have a note 2. Opportunities can lead to adoption of new practices, launching new products, opening new markets, addressing new customers, building partnerships, using new technology, and other desirable and viable possibilities to address the organization's or its customers' needs. So from how I look at clause number 4.1, 4.2, 6.1.1, 6.1.2 is that this newer structure of ISO 9001-2015 is looking at creating a robust structure around the organizational governance through your quality management system. The 4.1 sought that you identify the issues, both internal and external, that could impact the organization's ability to achieve intended outcome. While 4.2 sought that you identify all your stakeholders and their requirement to be able to achieve the intended outcome of the quality management system. Now, through the 6.1 and 1.2, they are looking at close looping the cycle. Now that the issues have been identified, you must build action plans, look at what risks and opportunities exist, try and work them out as per the organizational requirement. Similarly, now that you know your requirements from 4.2, you are looking at closed looping it through the clause number 6.1.1 and 6.1.2. So from where I see, clause number 6.1.1 and 6.1.2 will help you close loop several areas within your organization that could have prevented you from getting the intended outcome. From the previous standard, when you had the preventive action as a mandatory documented procedure, here the shift has entirely moved from preventive action to a risk-based approach. And through this 4.1, 4.2, 6.1.1 and 6.1.2, you will be able to design a robust framework where you are preventing mistakes from happening and working at enhancing desirable effects through opportunities